What's up, guys? Day 5 of the 94 Fleetwood. About to throw in these trailing arms just to make sure that everything does fit correctly, but I figured I'd go ahead and show you something really quick. When you're taking out the stock ones, the best course of action when you're setting these things for the first time is you want to take your stocks, match up your trailing arms to your stock location or stock length and everything before you start making any adjustments. At least that's how I go about it. So you've got obviously your old piece of craps, and you want to set your new ones on top and kind of line up the holes. Now, before you do all of that, you'll want to take and put your nut all the way to the center, and then you're going to want to screw these dudes all the way in. Theoretically, the thread that is on the inside of these things should be the same length on both sides. So you got it just like that. So now technically it should be even, so that every time you turn this center piece, it should evenly distribute thread-wise outward from there. So now that we've done that, I'm gonna lay it on top of each other just like this. This is how it would go. I normally will take one bolt, slide it through so that, you know, it's kind of holding on to it, and then look at where the bolt lines up on here. And as luck would have it, all the way in is dead on where it's supposed to be. So just for shits and giggles, and shits, I'm gonna put this on here like this and just go ahead and make sure that it is the same. Not to say that Black Magic doesn't know what they're doing, because they do, but I want to make sure that they are both correct, and they are. So now that I have lined up both of those are ready to go in. Basically, I'm gonna get the old lowers. I'm gonna change out the uppers first and then the lowers. Normally I'll do one at a time, only because then I don't really have to move the rear end around a bunch. I can just kind of like throw one in, get it all locked in, and then move on to the next one, and I don't have to like fight with the rear end moving it around. But anyway, I'm gonna do the uppers first, and then drop the lowers, and do the same process where I match them up and throw them on. I did get asked why I elect to rip everything out of the trunk before I start on anything. And the reason is pretty simple, and it'll make sense to you. A lot of times when cars come in here, I'm reinforcing stuff, and, it's best to take all the weight off of the frame. Not to say that it's going to like bend back straight or anything like that, but taking all the weight off of the frame, or at least as much as I can get it off of it, and then welding onto it is much better than leaving the weight on there and then welding to it. If you know anything about metal and everything, when metal heats up, it bends. Well, we don't want it to bend while I'm reinforcing it. So that's why I take everything out and then reinforce everything, and then I throw everything back in after everything's done. So if that kind of sort of makes some sense. So now that I'm under here, I'm starting to notice that the spots where the upper control arms connect to the actual frame, they are jagged as hell, and I wanted to point this out. I don't know if you can kind of see, but right in here, you want to make sure that that's nice and smooth. There's a spot right here, for example, that I'm going to sand that down. That will tear up bushings quick. There's also a little nub on the inside here that I'm gonna get rid of as well. It's like this on both sides. Looks like somebody's already cut out some of this connection right here. Yeah, they've already cut it out, I guess, for the stock trailing arms, but that's kind of a no-no because it makes all of this a little weak. I'm probably going to throw a plate on here, because normally what I see break is this right here. I'm probably going to throw a plate on right around here, at least to reinforce that portion of it before sticking the bridge in there. But this is all the little stuff that we notice as we're tearing this stuff apart. But even still, I greased up the bushings so that when they go in, they'll slide right in and move around easy. But if you've got something sharp like that right there, you know, it's going to cause a problem down the road. So you need to go ahead and knock it out while you can. All right, got the trailing arms put in. Word of advice when you go to put these on, slide the bolts in. You can put the nut on the end of it, but do not actually tighten any of them down until it is actually all the way in. And the reason is because it's easier to get the bolts in if you don't have anything tightened down. So also, ratchet strap is always your friend. A small cheap ratchet strap to help move the rear end front to back just a little bit, just to make it to where you can line up the holes a little bit to get the bolts in there. That does definitely help. I'm sure you're wondering why I am putting the trailing arms in before putting in the bridge, and that's pretty simple. I want to make sure that the geometry of the rear end is 100% correct before messing with the bridge, because I want to make sure that how these you know, the power balls are mounted and everything, I want to make sure that it all lines up. And see, as you can see, it is already cut out. Well, when I go to put the bridge in, you know, obviously I'm not wanting to move these, so I'm gonna do what I can to build a bridge that will align with the current holes. That also makes it so that you don't have to make new holes up top and make it look like shit. And I'm definitely gonna have to fix something going on, whatever the hell that is, and it's on this side. I'm not really sure what they had going on here, but that shit will get fixed. And yeah, everything seems to look like the stock location. And you know, I got to thinking about it, and I'm sure that you know, Black Magic is, they're smart people, so I got to thinking about it. And the uppers and lowers, the stock ones versus the adjustable ones, well, as soon as you bring them all the way in, they're stock. I mean, it looks like stock locations, basically, stock, you know, distance. So I don't know if they did that on purpose, but if they did, it was smart. So now we're gonna adjust it to make it that much more perfect, and make sure that that drive shaft, because like right now you can see the pinion angle is right about there. Obviously that's going to change once we start lifting and lowering, so you know, just gonna have to see how it all flows and see if the drive shaft where it goes into the transmission, like you can actually already see it's pulling out a little bit right there. Not a lot, but it's pretty damn close. So anyway, we will keep going and start cutting everything out and everything, but for right now that's in, and we're gonna start tearing apart the front and go from there. All right, so now it's time to blow apart this front end. So gonna check a few things before I do, just out of pure curiosity. Looks like, you know, if you didn't know, well, yeah, we got two of them. So ball joint bolts, they are notorious for coming loose. And these are, they're not tight. I can't tell what's going on here, but they're definitely spinning. I don't know what the hell's going on anyway. So I'll end up figuring out something for those. But all right, I'm gonna try to video this the best I can, and hopefully you guys can understand. All right, here we go. Got this little camera. All right, so we're gonna pull the cotter pin out of here. All right, I got the jack up underneath the arm. Got the light placed where that I think that it should be, and reposition the camera so you guys can see. But I think this ball joint is already broken loose. That's why I went ahead and did this. Which, if it's broken loose already by itself, it's not exactly a good thing. These things are supposed to get nice and snug in there. Yeah, well, I can't tell. We'll know here in a second. Yeah, Yeah, if it was free, it probably would have spun off by now. Well, I don't know. We'll find out. All right, finally. I think that's a damn... What the hell is that? Yeah, it was already broken loose. Okay, so the only thing I can figure is, one, ball joint kind of sort of looks shot. Sleeve, and this part of the sleeve. I mean, it doesn't have any play in it. It moves easier than it probably should, but it's not, it's pretty snug in there. It's just, it does move easier than it probably should, but that boot is definitely shot. But why is it not sealing down in here is the question. Okay, so either A, this is the wrong ball joint, which doesn't seem to be anything wrong, but the spindle, and if I can grab my camera without getting goop all over it, the spindle itself is kind of hollowed out, and it shouldn't be. So not a lot you can do about that other than replacing the spindle. When I go to tighten this on there now, I kind of see why they had a washer in there trying to make it work. But anyway, so I don't know, that's something for him to approach on a different time. These spindles are a little rusty. Actually, they're pretty rusty now that I look at them. And nothing's wrong. Brakes look good. So yeah, so spindles. Probably would go after some new spindles, because these things are pretty hollowed out. Wallered out is the word, I think. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and drop the jack a little bit, keeping in mind that I do not want to snap this brake line any kind of way. So I'm going to keep this under here. Go ahead and yank out these springs. Okay. Still got some slack in it, yeah. All right. So the bolt in the bottom of the cylinder is gone. So that's something we will fix. If you've been following this, you heard that we've got 2 tons in the front, 2-ton pre-cunts in the pre-cunts. Definitely not pre-cunts. Pre-cuts in the front, and in the rear there's like 3-ton, 3/4 ton, something like that in the rear. All right, I need to disconnect this hose if I can find the right tool. I don't think that's it. Nope. Let me see. Maybe I got lucky. I got lucky. Look at me. All right. These hoses are coming out anyway because they are 1/2 inch. They don't need to be here. Yeah, we're gonna sleeve this dude. That donut is bent to hell. Well, doesn't look half bad up underneath there. All right. Although the bushings are cracked and shit, bushings are actually still good. They are cracked, but they are all intact. So probably all I'm going to do is hose them down with some packing grease. You know, I'll probably do it. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm going to yank this arm out. All right, pulling this arm off. Yeah, I think that's right. All right. You know, they say you're not supposed to use chrome things on your impact, but OSHA's not allowed here, so who cares? All right. Hell, that came right out, so that was loose. Huh. All right. Whatever. All right. Try this a different way. We'll get these nice and clean before we put them back in. All right, looks like I'm gonna blow apart the other side and start making the templates all together, get them all cut out at one time, because I only like to put on my welding suit when I'm gonna weld everything. And I may end up trimming that off probably too, so the arm has a little bit more flow to come all the way down. And yeah, so make sure that you subscribe, comment, and like everything, and I will see you on the next video.